What did you do to your fish?
Oh, how's it going?
Good. I was like mixing up my food bowl and my salmon like squirted all over my laptop. So
No.
I'm like a little like,
You're gonna have some fishy ass keys over
geez, I
there.
know. Thankfully it's like Kita salmon, so it's not super fishy, but still like I like it I like stabbed it and it like popped like a zit. And I was like, who hurt you?
When you shut your computer off, just get one of the the wipes for wiping surfaces and all that stuff to like
Yeah,
wipe
right.
it.
Or just like have my cat like lick it off.
Oh, oh. I thought you were an OCD freak like me. What are
I
we doing?
mean, I am, but still like at least they'll get it nice and clean. I don't know, man.
Meanwhile, I'd be like, let's wash it in the sink. Why doesn't my laptop work anymore?
You just put it in the dishwasher on like a rinse cycle.
Fuck it.
Just
All good. Everything else going well?
yeah, I can't complain. Turned on my remote start in my truck. And
Oh
so it was
yeah.
44 degrees this morning. And so I did the
Fuck,
boop, boop.
really?
Dude, I know. But it was boop boop and it turned on. And when I hopped in, not only was it warm, heated seats and heated steering wheel. I was like,
Very nice. Ash is like, well,
I know, I'm like, oh. What's up, Megs?
Hi.
hey.
Hello, hello. I'm alive. How are you
What
guys?
percentage today?
Huh? I
What percentage of alive?
think I'm like 85,
Oh, okay, so we're
85%.
way up since we last spoke.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. Not feeling like complete shit. Like
Yeah.
a bag of dicks. But
It's like Princess Bride. It's like mostly dead.
yeah, I still have like this like sniffy and like mucus. Like when I'm
Hmm.
at the gym, like I definitely sound like I have like an insane just I don't know, sickness, but I'm literally just trying to cough up like a loogie. Like I'm just
And he goes,
yeah, and you know, like those deep like
yeah.
the ones.
Like the old man
So
gargles in the
gross.
morning. Like I don't
Yeah.
I want to know what age that just happens, right? Because like I remember as a little girl, like my grandpa would have his morning like declogging of his like orifices. And I want to know what age is that acceptable where it's just like, when you turn 50, it's like, oh, here's your 50th birthday celebration. And then you get like the old man gargle in the morning where
Um,
it's just like, it's gross, but like, oh, he's an old man, like he needs to do what he needs to do.
yeah. It's just the phlegm in the morning. Just
Nice.
uh, but yeah, how I wasn't here for the last potty pod, so how was things? How were things? What's
I should
going
be distracted over here. I don't know.
He just moved my mic because I guess I was using it retardedly. I don't know. Fuck you, Eric.
You sound different.
Oh. Ha!
on? I don't have mine.
Ew.
It's
Okay, just kidding. I take that back. I'm sorry, Eric.
plugged.
Yeah,
Work.
you're much more crisp
Oh,
now.
I mean,
Did
ah,
you?
like, I
There.
don't know.
That's the cover photo for
That's
sure.
yeah, that actually deep throating the podcast mic. But what were you about to ask, Laura?
No, I was just asking how the podcast was last week.
Oh, it was fine. It was yeah. I mean, it, I don't even remember what we talk about. But granted, I don't even remember what we were talking about today. So it's like I'm just here for a good time.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's all we can ask for.
understandable.
That is all we can ask for.
Okay,
Oh,
you
it was
guys.
like the social media. That's what we talked about.
Yeah, the social
Yeah.
media.
Comparison, all that bullshit.
Hmm,
Typical, the norm.
typical.
You
But
guys
someone
were
asked
you?
about GH, right?
Oh, growth. Yeah.
Hmm.
I feel like we've already talked about it before, but I mean, we can kind of talk about it again. I thought maybe, I mean, we can talk about that and then maybe talk a little bit about like digestion and the holidays because I have like some tips and tricks, I guess, if you will, or just fucking common sense, eating like an adult, um, for how to improve your digestion with
Hmm.
Turkey Day coming up. I mean, that's kind of more, you know,
I
so,
dropped a
yeah.
3-minute video yesterday in my group chat from my clients, just like X, Y, and Z, this is what you're going to do type of like, here's how we go about this. So there's no misinterpretations.
Like guidelines for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, I hosted like
Everybody,
a little Zoom for my team, and it was just like no one's in prep right now. So like
Exactly.
just enjoy the day, but don't like let it get away from you. Like, like just don't overthink it. Like you're not scared of turkey any other day of the year, so don't be scared of it now.
No. And I think everybody's outlook and also goal of the day is a little bit different. Like I have some people that have like three little kids and like holidays are still a big thing and like you want
Mhm.
to participate and like I couldn't imagine having like a 2-year-old be like, "Mommy, try this," and be like, "No." Like
Yeah.
I wouldn't want that for someone either. But then I have other people that are like, "Hey, it's just me and my husband. I don't give a fuck. It's another day." Okay, well, if you don't want to do it, don't do it.
Yeah.
Like I could care less.
And
But
then
I
do you
think
have those clients that have like fucking 5 Thanksgiving dinners planned? I'm just
there's
like,
Friendsgiving. There's Thanksgiving with my parents. There's Thanksgiving with his parents. There's Thanksgivings with our neighbors.
yeah,
There's
I'm like,
fuck, who does this? I don't even know this
oh,
many people.
I know.
Hmm. I was like, we'll
Close.
pick one, and then the rest of the time it's going to be like you get turkey and green beans because like we can't just excuse like a Thanksgiving free for all. Like it's great that you're so loved by so many people, but like you still have goals that you have to hit. So it's like, okay, well enjoy one Thanksgiving, but if you have like a billion to go to, then like honestly, do you really want to eat 5 Thanksgivings? Because I'll be honest, I don't. I am not like a Thanksgiving leftover person because it's just like such heavy food that I'm like I'm ready to get back on plan. You know what I'm saying?
I don't like turkey in any form. I don't like it from a fucking bird. I don't like it ground. I don't like it in the sausage. Maybe
It's
a
a
hit.
very mid bird. Oh, speaking of, but I forgot to say this last podcast. So we're getting cats new food, and it's bougie ass food. But they label it as like it's literally called like smooth bird or smooth other bird or ground pig or smooth pig. Like that is legit the label. I was like hilarious, but also really gross.
Then meanwhile, I hear people talking about some type of dog treat that's made out of like oatmeal and peanut butter that they humans are trying because it's so good from Petco. So a little different.
I mean, honestly, I'd eat their cat food because it's literally just turkey or chicken or
Kind
beef.
of a
I mean, it wouldn't.
ground smooth pig. Nobody wants smooth pig.
I mean, I'd rather have like smooth pig than chunky pig. I don't know.
I don't know. I'm not a big pork person, to be
I'm not
honest.
either. Yeah, but
That is
honestly, it
one
smells
thing
it
first.
smells good. It smells like real fucking food rather than like the dried cat cancer ass that some people feed their cats. I'm like, that smells gross.
So I don't know this because I've never owned cats. I've never been around cats or whatever. Like so we give dogs dog food like the kibble and all that, and you'll like here and there like give them like scraps of chicken or whatever, like even some vegetables or fruit. The only thing I'm really not supposed to is chocolate. Do you do that with cats?
Some cats will, some won't. Like, it's not that they're like some are finicky, but some are just like stupid. Like I had one cat, like my childhood cat, liked spearmint gum. Like he
That
wouldn't chew it, obviously. He's a fucking cat. Whenever I'd be chewing it, he'd like sniff my mouth. So I like would take it out and let him sniff it, and he started like licking it. I'm like, okay, well, I'm throwing that away. But like cats aren't supposed to like mint. Like they like catnip, but they're not supposed to like spearmint. And he liked spearmint. So it's just like cats are just cats. Like there's no rhyme or reason. They just are. The more you
Indeed.
know.
How was your rave, Meg?
Oh, it was
Yeah.
great. Oh yeah, I guess I haven't seen you since then. But yeah, it was great. It was good. Um, they oversold it, so it was just crowded, like elbow to asshole, like literally the entire festival. But eh, the Uber situation was shit too. Like we would leave the festival at 11. First of all, why does it end at midnight? That's stupid. That is so early. But we would leave at 11:30, so we wouldn't be in the hustle and bustle of it all. And then literally from 11:30, we would have to wait until like 1:30 to get a fucking Uber. Yeah. And then like by that
Hmm.
time we get home, it's like 2 and we're either hungry or they didn't want to go to an after. I think we went to one after, which is fine. But I don't know.
What does that mean for someone that has no idea about rave culture? Like me.
It's just like an after show, like a show after the rave or after the
Hmm.
initial show. So like it would go from, midnight to 5 a.m. or 3 a.m. or whatever it may be. So we went to one the last night, which was fun. I had more fun at the after because it was more like my music, but
Yeah.
yeah, it was fun. I think next year, I mean, I don't know my competitive plans, but I'm starting my rave plans. So, because that's the only thing that I can count on right now. I don't know the schedule yet, and I don't
Mm.
know what Cameron's thinking. So I'm like, okay, I want to go to FK. I want to go to the freaking festival my sister's hosting. So yeah,
See
I got
That's
what?
a lot
fun.
of plans. Yeah, but it was fun. But I came back and got the Wook flu, so got just immune system in the
Mm.
gutter because being around all those people doing the things that you're doing, not sleeping, not eating, like, yeah, it's a recipe for getting sick. That's why
Exactly.
I'm sick.
Yeah.
But
Oh, yeah.
yeah, it's all good. It's it's for a good cause. It's for a good cause.
Oh,
Went back a little bit on progress, but we're making moves now. Got a nice calorie bump today, which was fun.
Yo,
505 carbs. I don't know why. 505 though. Hell yeah.
better than 500.
Oh, I got those 5 extra carbs. I don't know what I'm gonna do with myself. I love it.
that's a snack.
Yeah, a little grape.
That's so
But yeah, we regrowing. But he said that we might do another growth phase, so I don't know what that means. But
we love that. We love a growth phase. You need to be
absolutely.
using growth hormone?
Precursor?
I have been all year. Well, hit or
Or
miss. My consistency was trash, but now it's better. I'm doing it every day now.
I get that. Sometimes you just get
You just
over
get
it.
so
Like,
tired of it. You're just like, fuck, I don't want to poke my stomach or my knee before I go to bed. I just want to go to fucking bed.
no.
So, but I'm gonna be a good athlete and stay consistent with it.
hmm
That's how that shit works. If you're like here and there, like it's not gonna do anything. So,
Yeah. I know there are
got
some people that do like that do Monday through Friday, then take Saturday and Sunday off to like let their weight stabilize. But I'm like, I could see that from a budgetary standpoint, I guess. But I'm just like, if you're just gonna use growth hormone, my thing is just use it. Like just use it year round, but the dosages should change based on like where you're at, whether it's fat loss, maybe a holding phase, or if you are like truly growing. But then you also need to understand like what can you actually afford because like this shit's also like depending upon your source, like $200 to $300 a kit,
Mhm.
for 100 IU. And if you're a big bitch or if you're a big dude using like if you're a big guy using like 10 IUs a day, like that's fucking expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah. But did we want to just jump on in on the growth hormone?
Yeah, I guess we can get like a little sciencey behind it. Like it doesn't have to be like balls deep about like hypothalamus, pituitary stuff, but like we can talk about like growth hormone and IGF-1 because like that's the big thing. And then we can both talk about like why maybe just GH over like secretagogues or like fragmentation and stuff like that if we want. But like I feel like people mostly don't care about like the pituitary hypothalamus axis. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, they don't care about that. They just want to know dosages.
Yeah,
When
they just want to know where
and
do I pin and how much.
yeah, how do
Give me
I
your
pin it?
source.
Like,
I
yeah,
think
so
one thing,
that's what
I was gonna say one thing just to like briefly touch upon before even getting into this is, know your health history before making any of these types of decisions. This definitely is a compound that is a better option, but not always an option for everybody. If cancer runs in your family, things like that, like growth makes everything grow. So,
Mhm.
just make sure you weigh your pros and cons before you make any type of decisions that can impact your health.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just may not make your clit grow. So that's a positive.
There we go.
Doing pros and cons right now.
We love that.
But no, that is true. I mean, I have a doctorate, but we're not doctors. We're not trying to tell you like what to do
Like
here. This
I'm not
isn't
a doctor.
medical
I am a
advice.
doctor, but
I'm not a doctor, but I am. But yeah, this isn't medical advice. Like, take it with a grain of salt, I
yeah, what
guess.
is it? This is for educational and fun
Educational
purposes only.
purposes. Yeah.
I mean, like the
Well,
big benefit of like using GH is like the conversion of the liver when it comes to like IGF-1, or if you want to be super sciencey, like the little like local, you might hear people talk about like autocrine and paracrine, which just means like local expression of GH to IGF-1. But like the best way I heard GH explained in a way that like makes sense to most people is it like sets the stage for growing. So like you think of your body like house, like you're building a house, like you need like 2x4s, you need like foundation, you need like all of the things to actually build the house. And that's what growth hormone does, is it gets like your blood glucose, it gets the fatty acids, it gets like all the things ready in the bloodstream. So when the liver turns GH into IGF-1, then IGF-1 has all of these tools to play with, the lumber, the concrete, and orchestrates building the house given the right environment. I think that was like a good way that I heard it explained once.
Yeah, I like that because we always talk about using growth hormone in addition to like PEDs
Mhm.
to kind of amplify their benefits or effects, not really
Yeah.
benefits, but their effects on, our muscle tissue growth and all of that. Because if you combine the two, you can probably use less of the androgens,
Mhm.
theoretically, for most people. Now, you for like potato sack genetic people, you may have to use to use both. And but yeah, that was a good way to put it. I think that was simplistic way.
Mhm.
But did we want to talk about maybe because I mean both lifestyle and competitors can utilize growth because some people utilize growth for its anti-aging
Mhm.
I
benefits
was
or
just
for like hair, skin, nails.
Yeah.
Some use it for
clinics are offering it now. You can,
clinics, you said? Like med
yeah.
spas? Yeah, yeah. Probably overpriced. Get it
Oh,
from
I'm
your drug
absolutely
dealer.
overpriced, but I understand too on the flip side of that, of people wanting a legitimate source that they feel comfortable with and are
Oh, for
willing
sure.
to pay a little bit more. So there's nothing wrong with that either.
Yeah. I think a big thing I want to discuss is like you will hear people that are very, very intelligent that actually know what the fuck this word means. And then you hear people that copycat these very intelligent people and they just use it because they want to sound smart. And it's the idea of growth hormone being dimorphic, right? Where it's like there are gender differences between females and males using GH, or even just how GH is utilized in the body if you look at a male versus a female. And males, they really have just like one big pulsatile spike kind of like at night, which is why like usually the recommendation for males is without interfering with your natural GH kind of like secretion and like sing song dance to use it like maybe early in the morning and then midday and then maybe like one bolus at night to kind of keep with more consistency versus females we actually have more like pulsatile releases throughout the entire day. And it also changes, as you might imagine, with like our menstrual cycle, if you have a regular menstrual cycle, just with how estrogen and progesterone, like, I don't want to say interferes, but how it like modulates or interacts with kind of like the dance of GH and IGF-1. So with females, especially on like hormonal birth control, if it's like estrogen or progestin based, like it will also interfere with how your body, secretes growth hormone and how it also turns into and converts to IGF-1. So I think that's a big thing to note is if you're on like HRT or if you're on oral birth control, you could have some differences as well just due to genetics. And that's something I did want to be as super sciencey about for the women out there that listen.
Yeah, that is a good point. Because I feel like there's more and more athletes are actually on some type of birth control, whether
Mhm.
it be IUD or hormonal birth control. But
Yeah.
I'm not I think too, like a lot of different people will also have different tolerances for it. And that's really something you won't know until you're starting to use it, if you so choose to do so. So like starting with the minimal effective dose, probably like 1 IU, something like that, and then like slowly titrating it up if you want to do, you know, 2, 3, whatever it is that you want to go up to. I know for myself that anything over 2 definitely flares inflammation. There's different types too with how much sodium is added and whatnot too. I've seen from several different suggestions, I guess you could say, between using pharmaceutical versus not. I don't know how much of a difference it actually makes. I've used both and I haven't really felt like it was a massive difference, but I did notice a difference in how inflamed I felt.
yeah,
Yeah, I think it's difficult for you since you do have like an autoimmune issue, but like most people don't. So they might notice water retention, but the way the growth hormone acts on the body, it's more of like it influences like vasopressin and aldosterone. And then also in some cases, some people even notice better sleep because of how it impacts cortisol at night. So like as again, it just is so person dependent, which is why what Laura said about using the smallest effective dose for females, like in a fat loss phase, that could be like 1 IU like injected in the morning and then you go do your fasted cardio or go get some steps. But if you're doing maybe like a push phase where you are wanting more of that IGF expression, and especially if you have the budget to use more, I mean, some women use 6 to 8 IUs. The I think the generalized like conversion, if you will, it's like half of what males take, but like even then, like we kind of talked about earlier, it's like, well, how much do you want to be a pincushion to? So it's
Mhm.
like you have to consider budget, practicality, syringe, injections as well, and versus like what your phase is. And so it's like I've used upwards of 5 IUs a day on training days, but it's what I can afford. And it's also keeping in mind that since it is causing more blood glucose, more fatty acids to the system, making sure I'm using insulin and monitoring my blood glucose and my postprandial glucose to make sure I'm not just adding in like excess fat tissue. So it's like a lot of other things you need to consider before you just like go to your local clinic and pick up, GH or go to your source and buy a bunch of kits.
Yeah. I mean, in the off season, I know you kind of touched on it, like it can increase obviously our rate of lean body tissue accrual, but it can also help to like decrease body fat gain. And I know you did mention, Laura, like the edema or like water being drawn into the tissues. That's what we're experiencing with growth. Um, and of course, the risk that it can drive up insulin resistance. That's why Ash was talking about like checking fasting and postprandial blood sugars. But also in the growth or off season or growth phase, like I know I've bumped it up when I had my hamstring issue. Like I would bump it up just for more regenerative or, you know, tissue healing
Mhm.
purposes. And a lot of Gen Pop people use that for general tissue repair and support for those issues. So you can like it can be utilized year round. There's nothing wrong with that, but you may have to titrate the doses up and down based off of like if you're growing, if you're using it for lipolytic benefits or like the fat loss benefits during a prep, or if you're jacking it up for like the healing properties. So, um, what else do we want to talk about with it?
I think something that is good to know is like you can only get like in some cases like more isn't always better when it comes to like a single dose. So like for example, like we say 1 to 2 IUs like for fat loss in the morning because it for a female if you're using 3, 4, 5 in one go, you can only get so much release of glucose and fatty acids in the tissues, right? Like your body only has like so many resources given like a certain like cap. So if you're in a fat loss phase or contest prep, don't think if you're a female, like don't think, oh, if I'm gonna inject like 6 IUs of growth for my fasted cardio, I'm gonna get more fat loss benefits. Because when in the research we don't see that. So when we talk about like smallest effective dosage being 1 to 2, like kind of at a single dosage, just keep that in mind that you could be using and kind of wasting your growth hormone if you're just doing like one like huge ass dose. Like it'd be better to kind of like standardize it throughout the day, especially if you are using multiple dosage in a growth phase. But honestly, I wouldn't be using like multiple dosage of GH in a fat loss phase because I think that's more expensive. And then again, like you want to make sure that you are like not jacking up insulin constantly, especially if you're wanting to lose fat. So that's just something to, I think, talk about. But we could talk about kind of like general dosing for females, maybe leave the males out of it because I think we have a lot of male stuff and not enough female education out there.
Yeah. And kind of like, I mean, you already talked about how we have like little pulses throughout the day of it, but I think it's like what females have like 2 or 3 times like less like growth hormone to the IGF-1 conversion.
Yeah, we
It's
have higher
kind of
metabolic
shit.
clearance too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Say that again. You
We
guys
have
are
like less growth hormone to IGF-1 conversion just being us females having
Yeah.
the gene. We just kind of suck at
that's
the
rude.
but
Yeah.
yeah, I
It's
thought.
the ratio of estrogen to testosterone
Yeah.
that kind of shoots us in the foot. Like we want estrogen, we just don't want like too much of it. And it's the ratio between estrogen and androgens, like testosterone, obviously, that kind of like influence that rate. But then females also have more clearance, which also kind of like sucks, but I mean, that's the dimorphic difference. So it is what it is. But that's why like females that maybe have like PCOS or maybe some other type of hyperandrogenism, that's so always so hard for me to say. Like we actually don't see the more female differences that have normal balanced hormones. We see it kind of more like men because of their hormone ratio.
Female hormones are fucking finicky. It's bullshit.
Dude, yeah. I
I want
understand
a
why.
refund.
Yeah.
Literally.
Like I get it. I understand why estrogen gets like a bad rep, man, because like as much as it is a very it's like neuroprotective, it's good for our bones, yada yada. Dude, estrogen's a bitch. Like excess estrogen is anti-thyroid. It fucks up our growth hormone effects. Like makes us feel fluffy. Like but no, it's essential. But
Yeah. It's like,
yeah,
I
no,
mean, we
I
need it to get growth hormone to be secreted,
yeah,
but then we get less IGF-1
and it
expression.
messes us up. Yeah.
So
So it's like
it's like, what the fuck? Why bother?
estrogen just doesn't want us to get those gains, you
I
know?
mean, yeah, kind of.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
that's why when like we use like proper cycle design, when we are
Mhm.
introducing like more testosterone for like HRT and then add in primobolan, masteron, MVP, whatever, like we shift the female physiology to more male physiology, which is how we get more of our growth hormones. That's how they like, I call it playing friends, and they like, play together nicely. And then when you do need insulin, because at some point you likely will want to utilize it, the deeper you are into your off season, just as your pancreas gets really fucking tired of your shit, eating 505 grams of carbs, and it's just
The
like
five gets you.
505 exactly, and it's just like one of those things where they all play nicely together. But again,
Mhm.
you still want to get labs, and you still want to measure your blood glucose both fasting and in between meals, and then especially if you're noticing like larger weight increases, if you are getting more fluid retention, also blood pressure, even if you're female, like that's important to monitor,
Oh yeah, for sure.
especially if
So
you're
I guess going back to the dosages, I know you guys said like obviously the minimum effective dose, obviously.
yeah.
Um, and I feel like that's definitely different for everybody because we do have different genetics, and we've already kind of talked about that. But I'd say for me personally, I would start at a minimum of like 1.5 to 2 I use as
Mhm.
a base. I have seen where people inject like point 0.5 to 1, and I'm just like, I don't even think 1 IU does anything, to be honest. Honestly, a base of 2 is where I kind of start everybody.
Yeah.
I don't find that anybody responds to 1. I mean, unless you're just kind of pretty super responder, but I find that 2 is pretty manageable for most people
Hmm.
from water retention to the sides with like
Yeah.
blood sugar and all of that.
Hmm.
Um, and typically I would do it at night for like growth phases.
Hmm.
You can use it in the morning, like we talked about, like for the lipolytic, like fat loss benefits, or like if you're in prep, it's easy to pen in the morning before fasted cardio for sure. Um, I guess a third dose consideration because I do it pre-post training.
Yep, I do
That's
too.
how I split
Uh-huh.
it. So, you know, just prior to training, that could be your third dose, or that could just be your dosages pre and post training. And then on your rest days, PM for like the recovery kind of at night. But I don't know if you guys do it differently.
I don't. I also I get like violently angry when I see like, oh, I'm using zero point 0.5 units of GH. I'm like, why fucking bother? Why waste the insulin pen?
Hold on. Guess what mine is supposed to be, but it's not because I
Well, is it 0.7?
1.8.
I get like I'm
I
not
just wanted the two. I'm
going
like, fuck that
the
shit.
brain cell that it would take me to get that right. Like I'm just two.
Like,
It's just two.
yeah, I'm just two.
Just do it.
Stop it, Cameron. But no.
I
Yeah.
just do it post workout. Well, I guess it's a little bit after post workout because I'm not rolling into work as well with
Mhm.
GH. But um, honestly, more than anything, just so I remember, because I know that like once I get home, at, like 11, 12, whatever it is, like it's my everything's right in front of me, and I'll remember to do it, which is part of the problem too with that is just like being consistent.
That's the thing is like you can have like best dosage setup. Like let's say you train at 10, so you like inject early in the morning, you do your fasted cardio, then you eat pre-workout, then you inject another 2 IUs post-workout, and then you inject another 2 IUs before bed. But if you like are forgetting dosages here and there, it's like just pick one
Just
time a day that
do
you'll
it.
remember to inject and be consistent with it.
I also
Mhm.
probably wouldn't travel with any of this type of shit in your car, just in case. I don't know how.
No, I do. I risk it. I risk it.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know. Have you ever got pulled over? I mean, technically, would that be illegal? Because
I
you can
mean,
get it from clinics and stuff now.
it is probably going to be illegal considering how you acquired it, but like, Laura, how bad do you drive where you're just getting pulled over like willy-nilly?
Can we not? Can we not go to my fears of driving at the moment? I'm literally like this in my car
I need
trying
to
to.
text Josh, be like, how scary is Laura driving?
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, I'm fine. I just don't
Terrible.
like if
I'm
I
just a
could
girl.
Uber for the rest of my life at the moment, I would.
I would understand that for sure. Um, Crap. I was thinking of something and it just passed my head.
Traveling with drugs. That's
Huh?
what it's just traveling
Driving with
with drugs.
drugs. Oh, I mean, like, yeah, do it. Uh, I see nothing wrong with that.
Meg has
Yeah,
her Alroids container.
Yeah,
I'm the
Alroy.
grandma of the group, so I guess I should be the responsible one. These two are living.
Yeah, I don't drive, so if we get pulled over, it's William,
Yeah, plus
not
I'm not sniffing
Did
out
you
your
say it
state
was 44 degrees
this
today?
morning. Yeah.
Yeah.
it's
Is it
fucking
so it's
freezing here.
cold there and like I'm trying to think 'cause of this weekend.
You'll probably have to use a sweater down
Let
there.
me check.
That's
We'll
some
post.
bullshit. I was like, oh my God, it's gonna be warm. Like when I went to Vegas and it
I
was
mean, it's
fucking
warmish
30.
now. It's just like in the morning it was 44.
67 here. That's freezing. I'm
62.
freezing.
Oh, you poor thing.
Oh, Laura, so when you come in on Sunday, it'll be 40 degrees in the morning, but then the high will be 67. And on Monday, 43 is the low, 71 is the high. So, like, bring fall attire, but it's like, you'll be fine.
I mean, it's not 70 here, but it's been like upper 50s. Not crazy bad for almost December.
Yeah. I know it snowed in Ohio today, and I'm like,
Ain't no way.
You know, I won't lie. I'm missing the snow. I do like seeing it visually out my window, but the cold, I just can't. I can't deal with the cold.
well,
It's,
send me a postcard when you go visit your family then.
yeah.
I'll send you some pictures once it's snowing over here. The only
Mhm.
thing I like about the snow, honestly, is seeing the dogs play in it. They love it. Like the best thing ever. They're so happy and never want to come inside.
Chip gets confused. He's always confused.
He's a little. He's probably like, Mom, what the fuck is this? Pick me up.
Uh, this
Put
is
me in
my
your
cold
tits.
shit.
I don't think my cats have ever seen snow. So, like, I would like to just like yeet them in like a big snowbank just to see what they do. But
Cat
that
doesn't move.
happens
Just
here.
stays
Like,
there. I can see it now. Oh. Oh man, not good.
Um, oh, two more points on the growth hormone. Sorry. We
Yeah.
just kind of went off on cold and driving with drugs. Um, but when you use it in the morning for the fat loss benefits, I feel like a lot of people forget that the main action of growth hormone is to mobilize fatty acids. But if you just inject and sit there like a fat sack of shit, it's not going to do anything. So you need to inject it, do cardio, go on a walk. You
Something.
gotta do something with it. I just wanted to make that a point.
yes.
And then also, I think another misconception of growth hormone is that you have to use it with insulin. And personally, I don't believe that is true. I do use insulin right now, but like I said, I use growth hormone year round and I don't use insulin year round.
Yeah.
But I think it was kind of more old school to like match up the dosages with like this many carbs, this much insulin with this much
Right.
green. And you're just like,
They're like doing like matrix math that doesn't make any sense.
yeah,
I
I'm
mean, like,
like, come
yeah,
on.
in a fat loss phase, like in my opinion, like you don't want to be using like a lot of insulin because insulin like keeps you from losing fat. Like the mechanism like of insulin like blocks kind of like the whole like fat loss escapade. So I wouldn't want to be using like a ton of insulin, if any, but like you should be using insulin in a growth phase when you need it, not just because like for shits and kicks. So it's like if you are noticing that like your blood glucose in the morning is outside of an optimal slash normal range because you are pushing a lot of food, or if you notice that your blood glucose in between meals is more elevated than you ideally would like to see it, that's where you need to make a decision of do I need to use like a basal insulin or do I want to use more mealtime insulin? And if you don't know how to use insulin, don't fucking use insulin and hire a coach to tell you how to use insulin because like this isn't like shit that you want to mess around with. Like your body's really smart and like can save your ass in some circumstances, but like I wouldn't be fucking around with insulin. You know what I'm
No.
saying? Like that's something you need to be smart about.
I think I don't know about you guys, but like if I'm recommending it to someone, I definitely feel a little bit more comfortable when people are using the pens just because they're easier to manage as far as like dosing and things like that.
Yeah, definitely.
I
I
mean, if I'm worried
personally
about that, we're not using it at all. Like if I'm worried that you don't know how to use like a syringe, then like I'm not going to be responsible for that protocols, but I will start off with like basal insulin because it's harder to fuck that up versus like mealtime, like especially because Novolin N is kind of like chaotic. Like we know about like its peak and its duration, but like in my own experience, it's like a little
it's different
finicky.
every time.
Yeah, like for me it's finicky, but like Novolin N, that like more 12-hour window, it's a little bit more stable. But Novolin R, like I know what the research says, but like
Sometimes I can like literally hit me in a blink of an
uh-huh.
eye. And then sometimes I'm like, did I inject enough? And then I'm like,
Yeah.
should I inject more? And then I'm like, no. Stop it.
It's like, did I do it again?
I don't feel it yet. I'm not I'm kidding. That's not what you should be
Christ.
doing.
Or Wilton's next to her, like, what the fuck?
It's
He
like I
likes
need
the
grumpy
hypo
bears.
feeling. He's crazy. But
But yeah, seriously
I have
though,
to go
like
get some
it's
water.
yeah,
So
go for it.
BRB. I have to flip my fish too. So I'll be so weird.
That's why I got up. I forgot I had put rice in a pot and I was like, oh fuck that noise. That's my rice burning.
Me, I have to flip my fish.
You know,
Woo.
gotta multitask.
Yeah, dude, like that would make me so I don't know. Like there's not a client that I was be like, hey, let's use like a fast acting insulin because like it's just so many things could happen. And if you were like you inject the insulin and then something happens where you like can't eat your meal right away, I'm like, I just imagine them just like, boom. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I'd much
Yeah.
rather just use like a longer acting just to like keep it simple, stupid.
I mean, I'll be honest, I fucked up taking Novolin N once and I took more than I should have and like was nowhere near being able to eat anything for 25 minutes or so and I was fine.
Well, Novolin N is baseline, so you should be fine.
Yeah,
But
that's
I
what
mean, like Novolin
I
R, or like if you actually are able to get like a good insulin where it is an insulin pen, you're not drawing from a vial, like that shit's a lot more rapid acting. Granted, I loved using it when I was able to get it sourced. Forget what brand it was. It was like quick. I think it was a quick pen. I don't remember, but I loved using it because it was like rapid acting,
they're easy
straightforward.
too, that they
Oh,
don't hurt.
so easy.
They
So
don't, you don't, that's one actually you need to be careful with. I can't tell you how many times I've looked down and be like, that did he even go in my body? Like it doesn't feel like
Mhm.
it did.
Yeah, dude, that's something that like no one really prepared me for because it was my first time using it. Because normally I just go to Walmart because you can go to Walmart to get this shit. And he was like, "What you need to do is to make sure the injector is primed. Is like just do 1 or 2 IU's, make sure the cap is off, and just the pen and see like the insulin fly out to make sure the injector was working." So even though like I was using like 5 or 6 IU's because I really pile a bunch of carbs into my pre-workout and I also have an intra workout, still like going in, I'm like.
Did that work?
Yeah, like, did it have to go in though? Like,
Well,
sure.
yeah. Yep.
Yeah, so that can definitely be something to watch out for. Who flips their fish?
What kind of fish is she
Do
making?
you flip fish, Laura? I don't flip my fish.
Honestly, I haven't eaten fish in quite some time.
But like
I
when you did you ever flip it?
no. I put it in the air fryer. I said, I was gonna
Yeah.
eat it for
That's
20
not
minutes.
flipping it. I was switching it in the air fryer. That's what I meant by flipping my fish.
So what did you do to your fish?
I had three fillets of fish in
Okay.
the air fryer. So I
Okay.
had to flip it. I had to flip it from the air fryer thing to the container and then put more fish in the air fryer. I had to
Oh.
do my fish. What I don't know
So what
what
type
my
of fish
fish.
do, hold on, what type of fish do you make in the air fryer?
So why?
Oh, see, I used to do tilapia in the air fryer, and I'm
Oh,
gonna be honest, it's so good, but I'd like turn it into like tilapia jerky, and,
mm-hmm.
and that started fucking up my stomach for sure.
Dude, I love tilapia jerky.
Interesting.
And I also saw that post that Ross had made one time about his clients like way hydrogenating the potatoes.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, well, fuck, if that's the way it's working for potatoes, like I'm eating way more than I think for protein
That would be
because I
true.
didn't wait
To
until
make it that
after.
crispy, yeah.
Yeah,
Mine
that's
is like
fair.
a nice.
Mm.
It's got a
Oh,
little crisp.
I abused that for sure.
Yeah. Okay. That
That's
makes sense.
funny.
Now we know.
Dehydrate all your food in the freaking air fryer.
Literally. No, that was the only thing I did it to. So I was like, all right, well, that's gonna go. Everything else is going on the grill.
Oh my
But dude, if you don't, sometimes like it gets like you put the fish in the container and it gets
Slime, yeah.
that slime, that like
Yeah.
fish jizz, and it's just like ugh,
Yep.
so
No,
gross.
you can avoid that though. If you cook your fish and
Mhm.
put it on paper towel and let it cool and then put it into your Tupperware, you good.
I'm impatient. I just
I know.
get
It's
heated.
it's a
Oh,
fucking procedure for sure.
Yeah. I just cook my fish fresh because I don't want to see the fish congeal,
congeal.
whatever. Yeah.
Is
I
that
don't
where
think it's that bad though. I think it's
Jello comes
right.
from?
What?
Is that where Jello comes from? It's something to do with fish scales.
I mean, it's gelatin is just animal bones.
No.
Bone marrow.
Bone marrow. Yeah.
Hmm. My thoughts made more sense, but that works. Hi, Chip. Chip looks like a doll.
He really
He's
does.
He looks like almost like a
so
Snoopy doll.
he's so dirty. Can you guys see his paws? Like, did his front paws look any different?
We can't really see him.
I mean, he does seem bigger the way that you're holding him.
No. Well, no. Will decided to like shave one of his paws to make him like a little boot. So now it's growing out. And you know, like when they shave dogs, when they have to cut them open for an incision or like
Yeah.
something like surgery, and they'll have like a shaved part and then just fluff on either side. That's what
Mhm.
his one little foot looks like. It's just like a little
Oh,
skinny little ankle. It's growing out now, but he looked a little ridiculous.
ridiculous.
I love
Mhm.
that. I love that. Eric and I have been watching this one YouTube channel where it's this woman who just like grooms animals. And like it is just so ungodly entertaining where she'll just be talking to them and they have like all these different stations where they'll be like clipping nails or like, trimming them if they have like matted fur or whatever. And then like especially if she has to give a cat a bath. Like there's just these like cats just like completely wet to the bone, just like dinner plate eyes, like look stressed as fuck. And then when they have to get blow dried, they put them in this like rage
Like a
cage where it's
box.
just like these like hair dryers everywhere, and the
Yeah.
cats are just like all over this cage, just like
Oh.
fucking losing their mind. Like I don't know, it's so entertaining. And I'm like, I'm not paying for like TV anymore. I'm just gonna be watching like these cats like lose their absolute fucking mind.
Like fucking animal cruelty over there.
I mean, like there are some of these cats that like just don't have good grooming habits, and like if you're not gonna groom yourself, you're gonna have to get groomed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you wash cats? Is that a thing?
The ones with longer hair, sometimes you have to, or if they're a special breed where they're like they can get more matted. You need to make sure that they either have good grooming habits themselves, or if not, you'll have to get them like groomed and shaved and stuff like that.
Cats typically groom themselves, though, no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they're
But
like not lazy or if they haven't been taught. Like I know that sounds really dumb, but like if the cats like have been either weaned too quickly or just didn't have a mom present, they might not know how to cat. So sometimes you have to just do it for them because they literally don't know how to do it. Like cats are not smart animals. Like I love them, they're hilarious, but like they're not intelligent.
That's so sad.
I know. Like I told you guys, Finn has one brain cell, and like a skink got inside our house yesterday, and
A
like
what?
a skink, like a little lizard, little
Oh.
skink. Well,
I-
if you come down here, and if I see one, I'll show. It's a little lizard, but like he played with it for like half an hour and killed it, and he was screaming for 2 hours afterward, just because he killed this animal, but he didn't eat it. He either knows how to eat or he knows how to play. He doesn't know how to do both. So he was just screaming for 2 hours, and I wanted to lose my goddamn mind. I was like, "Shut up! It's not that big a deal."
This is why I have dogs.
You're like, Mom, look what I did. Look what
I
I did.
literally like he was like it was in his mouth dead, and he's just screaming with it like hanging out of its mouth, and I'm
Uh,
like, just put it away. It's fine. Just put it away. And he just would not stop screaming. Of course, Eric was at the gym, so I was by myself with the kids, and I was like, I need some mommy time.
And I would be like, back to her. There you go.
I know, literally. Where's the snowbank? Just eat them in the snow.
God.
We like really went off topic, but I don't know.
Did we want to briefly talk about digestive health and the holidays, or do we? Because I don't think we're doing a podcast next week, are we? Because it's
Uh,
Turkey Day.
unless we're available to get together while Laura is here,
Hmm. Like
if
on the
we want to,
weekend.
Uh,
or on Monday.
I don't know. Could do that.
I'm game.
We could save that talk for that, but that's strictly just digestion and the holidays and how to approach the turkey dinner.
Yeah.
Are you
Um,
guys going to participate in any turkey trots or any white people activities?
I was thinking about doing a turkey trot, but since like I
you
just
run?
off of a deal, what?
You run?
I
5K.
would walk. I would
I
walk.
would
I would walk. I would power walk at the latest. But
What is this?
I'm not running.
no, I would get
The
like little
turkey
pink
walk.
dumbbells and just get walking. But no, since I just came off a deload, I'm like I have no reason to not go to the gym that morning since my gym is 24/7. So I'm gonna get a fucking Thanksgiving pump on.
Yeah, I will be training my gluteuses too because I train Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. I'm
Hmm.
not going. And our gym is 24 hours too, so
Yeah.
that's nice.
Thursday is actually a rest day for me, but
Ooh,
I have
yeah.
clients that want to come in anyways, so I said yes.
Ooh, okay.
Just get that. Just make sure you get like time and a half because you're going in on a holiday.
Yeah.
Laura get
Dude,
paid that OT.
What's
I
that?
remember overtime.
No, I don't get overtime.
Uh,
I fucking told you guys what happened the other day. I needed
yeah.
an hour off and I got fucking fired. Jesus
God,
Christ.
Ooh, fuck that. I could not be a personal trainer.
no.
You know, you have my respect, Laura. I couldn't
Hmm.
do it.
I actually really like training. For the most part, I work with amazing people and like
Mm,
they come in and want to work, so like it's fun. And
that's
like
nice.
I love training so much that like I feel like that like trickles into my experience with them as well.
Yeah.
But
Dude, I just remember all of my personal training clients were just, they didn't want to be there. They were
Mm.
like, they got the free
oh,
first session and then they would
Yeah.
sign for like 3 or 4. So I would be stuck with them for 4 weeks. And I'm just like, then you get the next wave and it's just like, oh, I hated it. But
I've got a few, oh actually like 6 or 7 that are online and are local. So it's been cool that I've been doing like a group training session on Saturdays and getting them to come together and kind of like get time with all of them for their training, but then to
Mm.
also like mingle with one another, build some team camaraderie. It's cool.
I like that. That's
Hmm.
cool. Because I think also we do help a lot of our athletes with like the training footage online, but
Hmm.
there sometimes you just need to literally like
Mm.
manhandle somebody and like tell them like move your butt this
Yep.
way. And it's like they just can't like it clicks when like
Yep.
you touch them, like literally like
Hmm.
poke the butt. Like
Oh,
Positioning and also getting someone to like go to their full potential.
yeah.
yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Agreed. Agreed. Was there a point to that, or did we just start talking about personal training? I felt
We
That's
were talking about
Turkey
possibly
Day.
doing a podcast together.
Right.
Exactly.
I just don't know the schedules. Like I said, our flight is at 6 a.m. on Sunday.
Mhm.
I don't have a car or anything, so that's the only thing I'm a little unsure of how that would work.
Mhm.
Um, I want to see you either way.
I mean, I'll see you. Like, I'll drive downtown.
Yeah.
Like, where you're at is where we usually park anyway. So it's like a convenient thing.
And then we leave 6 a.m. Tuesday morning to come home.
Mhm.
Like, even if you guys want to do it Wednesday, I'm around too.
Yeah, I could do Wednesday too.
Depends
Maybe
for
that's free
me
day. Well, not really.
because
But
I'm hosting, so I have to.
I don't even give a fuck if you want to do it on
Wednesday's
Thursday, we
battle
can do
day
it on
for me.
Thursday. I don't think I'm going to my parents'
hosting
till
like
like
dinner.
3 o'clock.
You know who's hosting our dinner?
You.
Whole Foods.
My parents too.
We're catering
Dude, I
for
bet they
Whole
have
Foods.
baller. I bet their
I
Thanksgiving is baller.
It
I
could.
you guys will laugh at this. I offered to Kate like cook and whatever. Josh and I were gonna do it for it's just my parents, me and Josh. And
Mhm.
I was like, come over here. Like my mom just had surgery, whatever, like trying to make it easy for her. And they're like, "Ah, no. And I was like, what do you what the hell? Like that's such an insult. And my dad's like, we'll reach out to Whole Foods.
Yeah. Well, shit, I can't go
Damn.
there. We're cooking, well, we're making probably like two dishes in addition, like a sweet potato casserole and maybe one and like crescent rolls probably. And
Yeah.
then dessert. Dessert we're buying because we don't want to fuck that up because we take pride in dessert.
It is hard to fuck up dessert though. It's three
Mm,
things. It is sugar, it is fat, and it is more sugar. Like
I don't know, man. There was this one year I made cookies, and my mom, I don't know who owns salt and pepper flour, but Kathy Santa Barbara does. So I reach into the flour pot and I use salt and pepper flour in these like this cookie recipe.
Wait, wait,
Ter-
wait.
Terrible.
It was
Ruined it. Hate baking.
pepper. What the
Salt and
fuck do you
pepper.
so is that
Salt
for
and
like
pepper
pizza making?
flour. I guess it's for fucking breads and shit. I don't know. Is that a thing? Because she had it.
what is I don't even know what salt and pepper is. Like when I search salt and pepper flour, the first thing that comes up is fried calamari recipe.
I see that too. Truly crispy salt and pepper
Is that
squid.
like what it was?
No, it was a
No, just
bag. It said
flour with salt and
flour,
pepper
but it
in it.
said like salt and pepper was in it as well. Maybe it was just pepper flour. I don't
That
know, man. I
sounds
think maybe just
vile. That's like it sounds like something you do to like shake and bake fried chicken. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Yeah, or I could see
It
you
was
using it for pizza crust, maybe. I don't know. Pepper is such like
maybe
a potent taste, though. It's so strong. I don't know.
I don't know, man. But she
Those
had
must have been some awful cookies. That's all I can
it
say.
was not great.
Oh,
Did you still eat them?
No,
that's good. That's
absolutely not. But yeah, are you guys doing? Well, I guess Christmas is the next holiday. Do you guys do anything like for
the
Christmas?
next holiday I think is fucking Hanukkah.
Oh,
No, it
fuck yeah,
Oh
isn't.
Hanukkah,
Lord,
yeah.
oh it's not.
No, it isn't.
No?
Hanukkah is after Christmas this
Is it
year.
really? I thought it was
Yeah.
like
This
before.
year.
The world is coming to an
Changes?
end between climate changes, all of the things.
Wait,
Hanukkah is now after Christmas.
Hanukkah changes? It's not like a set, it's
Yes.
the
It's like Easter. It's just like fuck you. It's whenever we want.
Yep.
That's wild.
Target has a lot of cute $1, $5, and $3 Hanukkah items,
Like
Laura.
menorahs, like little
Like
dreidels.
menorahs, little dreidels, yeah.
Wait a second. So it
Yeah.
starts on Christmas,
Well,
begins
that's not
sundown December 25th. Wow, I get to celebrate Christmas this year. This is like the best day of my life.
I didn't know that. I literally thought Hanukkah was like a set, like,
No, honestly, it has something to do with the Jewish calendar. That
okay,
is how it's.
Wow, that makes sense. Huh.
cool. So you get to celebrate Christmas. That's exciting.
Yeah, I'm
I
one of
love
you
that for
guys
you.
this year. Let's go.
Oh my God. I gotta wake up. I'm about to go train. I'm
Let's say,
tapping.
what flavor Alani New are you drinking today?
I don't got shit.
Do you have Dr. Schizo at least?
Yeah, I have
That's
that.
good.
That's
Okay.
it. But yeah, I'm trying to do just pre-workout and my coffee during the week.
Hmm.
And because I only train 3 times a week, so it's not like I'm using pre-workout every day.
How's
And
your
then
hamstring feeling?
so good. I
Good.
don't feel that at all. It's fine.
Good.
Yeah,
Good.
Are you gonna
so good.
stay training 3 times a week, or are you gonna go back to 4?
Probably keep it 3 right now during the holiday season, and then probably bump it to 4 maybe. But I mean, my growth has been better on 3. So I'm
Mhm.
like, hmm, if anything, maybe that fourth day would literally be like pump shit, like kickbacks and like step up and like back extension. Like it would just
I've
be,
seen him do that with a few people. That girl he works with, Anita, too, was saying she only trains 3 days a week.
yeah, yeah.
Looks
Yeah.
crazy.
Well, when I was doing like the 4 days, it was like 4 full lower body
Yeah,
days. So
that's a
like,
lot.
I
That's what
don't
I
know how
do.
I even did it, to be honest, because now I'm like doing my going into my third session like Saturday, and I'm just
Yeah.
like dead. But my recovery is so good, which is nice.
And that's the important thing. Because like if you're getting stronger and progressing and your recovery is good, then you
Yeah.
can rest assured that like you are growing and making improvements versus just like doing 4 days to do 4 days, but then your recovery's ass, and then your hamstring flares up, and then you can't even be in the gym for 2 days a week because your injuries like annoying you. So like rock with 3 days, dude.
Yeah.
Grow.
And I like it. I like it. It gets me because I still go to the gym maybe like 4 times a week because I'll go with Will on one of the days and just do like cardio, core, and some mobility.
Mhm.
So yeah, I don't slack on my mobility or my core anymore, which is good.
I feel that. I feel
I
that.
don't know. I feel like it's helpful to go and do just that, just because like you don't go as much as you used to the gym. It's like nice to look forward just to being able to go. I don't know,
Yeah.
especially from working from home and like
Oh my
being
God.
home
Yeah.
all day.
Yeah, it is tough because like at least like Will, he gets to like leave and do his job and then he comes home. I'm
Yeah.
here all day long. So
Mhm.
I'm just like itching to go to the gym. And when he
Hi,
gets
you're home.
like
Talk to me.
I just want to stay at home and I'm like, no, we're going to the gym. We're going
Right.
somewhere. Let's go on a
Plus, if
car
you're
ride. Like I'm like a fucking dog. Like
Literally, I feel like that 2 times. It's
right. Plus, if you're someone that really does struggle with like being consistent with mobility, because I get it's not like maybe as fun as training for some people. It's like, well, if you make it a point to go to the gym to just like use bands to work on your cars or maybe like a foam roller or whatever, like if you're going to the gym to actually do that, you actually do that thing. Therefore, you actually get the benefit of the mobility work, not be like, oh, I'm gonna work on mobility, and then you're like doing it at home and you're just like rolling all across ball on your phone, just doing things like
yeah,
half-ass. Because that was me.
yeah. Dude, and similar to like core work, I'm telling myself from here until the end of the year, I'm gonna train my core, like really fucking train it 3 times a week. And
Hmm.
I want to see if it like, because I'm not in like a dieting phase right now, but it's still muscle, you're still growing it, so you should be able to see development,
Hmm.
even though I do have fat on top of my abs, they should still develop, and I should be able to see that. So I want to see if that really makes a huge difference because for a while I did really only practice like breathing techniques
Hmm.
and I would just focus on like core control in my heavy compounds. I wouldn't do direct core work at all.
I feel like there was a lot
So
of um, stigma around that for a
yeah.
while
So I
that you're
want to
not
like
supposed to
do
do
a
that.
little do a little experiment on myself,
Hmm.
see if it actually makes a difference. I feel like it will. And
I
I'm just
used
telling myself it won't because I don't like core, but I'm gonna
I
do
think
it.
it will. I mean, I haven't done it in a while, but before I was like really into bodybuilding, like that was something that like I actually took the time to learn about and research and do appropriately. And I used to train it like 3, 4 times a week, and I had like a stacked six
Yeah.
pack.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Like when I was in doing ballet, I would do this. Oh, frick. Forget what it was a CrossFitter's like ab workout. I can't remember her name anymore, but obviously she had a 6 pack. And it involved like additional stuff like burpees and like hollow holds and like
Yeah.
ups and all this like toes up bar. And I did it, but my core was like, whoa. And
Yeah.
now it's like it's just soft. And for wellness, you don't need like a 6 pack by any
Yeah.
means.
Want it,
What?
but we want it.
But
I
we just want like I mean, strengthening your core is never a bad thing. It's
no.
gonna help
I
with your
think
back strength and your compound movement. So
Yeah.
I think it looks
But
good when you have like a pretty stacked six pack.
it really does depend on the division because I know bikini they don't want like
Yeah.
rock hard abs. So it's like the most I will do is like I'll do dead bugs and I'll do what is it? The one where you're like it's like the opposite of a dead bug.
Cat cow. Bird dog. Dog
Bird
bird.
dog. Thank you. I was like, what fucking animal is it? God damn. I was like,
Giraffe
dead
lion.
bug. Yeah.
Bird
Yeah. Cat cow. Well, I do cat cows, but like, yeah, the dead bugs and then the bird dogs.
dog.
Then I will use a foam roller and do like foam roller crunches and then superset that with vacuum holds.
Mhm.
That sucks. That hurts like a motherfucker. But that's the most I will do just because like I don't like I mean selfishly, yes, I would love to have like rock hard abs, but like on stage, if I were to get docked on that, I'd be pissed.
Yeah, that's always been my weaker point, like at least in figure. Like I would get lean, like I would have like squishies in my belly, and I did this like dieting phase too, but it just looks flat, you
Hmm.
know, just looks like skinny. Like sure, I have like my top abs, but then the bottom is just like washed out. And I don't think my diet was great back then when I did
Yeah.
get stage lean. So I think this year or next year when I do compete, whenever the fuck that is,
Yeah.
it's gonna just inevitably look better because my gut health is better.
Yeah.
So,
Some of that
but
is genetics too. I definitely think
yeah,
for abs specifically,
for sure.
certain people can get that like block like
And I
mirror.
don't want blocky because
Yeah.
that's like it's not wellness. You
Yeah.
know, they want the bikini kind of like toned
Yeah.
midsection, but just doing it for shits and giggles for the next 8 weeks.
I
We'll
love
see.
that. Shits and kicks.
Come on here and sport my six pack.
Let's see it. You don't have to show us. We like it.
Lift my boobs up to my chest or up to my chin, how every other girl does it online. Jesus.
Oh my God.
Definitely don't have a six pack right now. I can't wait to diet. I've never been so excited to diet in my life.
Yeah. I'm with you, Laura. Like normally I love I mean I love the off season because I love growing, I love feeling strong, but like you get to a certain point where you're just like,
Mhm.
okay. That's enough of this shit.
From that. I mean, I did a longer off season. Like this is well now it'll be 2 years too. The last time before I competed it was 3 years, but like I never pushed food like I did this time. I never like actually tried to grow.
Yeah.
Mhm. I'm excited for more food.
You can have some of mine
I just
gladly.
think it's cool. Like the last time my food was this high was 215, and
Hmm.
now I'm 198. So I'm like, I like.
That's why you don't fuck up your reverse and eat like an asshole. Because
Yeah,
you
don't think
push more
like
food at a leaner body composition.
mm-hmm.
Oops.
Hell yeah.
Been
All right,
eating
y'all.
Honey Nut Cheerios and it's been lovely.
Ooh. Dude, I have the frosted Cheerios. Those are good.
Did you know? I didn't know this till recently. Honey Nut Cheerios are gluten free.
Hmm.
Really?
Yeah.
They're just
Chex are
oats,
too,
like
I
pure
think.
oats? Huh.
I think Chex is too, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
rice Chex is obviously gluten free.
Yeah.
It's so weird though, because the regular Cheerios aren't gluten free, but the Honey Nut ones are. I don't
Oh,
know. I don't ask questions. I just eat them because they're fucking good.
well, that's understandable. Well, we will converse, I guess, in the
Yeah.
next couple days about if we're going to do another pod.
Mhm.
Hopefully we can, so we can talk about digestion in the
Mhm.
turkey
Yeah, that'll be
day.
a good one. We should tie in holiday digestion and also what you were talking about in your post today about stress and digestion.
Stress and digestion. Well, I mean, shit, they go hand in hand. Everybody's stressed, running around, cooking things, and then sit down and try to eat. Okay.
Hmm.
Okay.
All
Cool. I love it. We'll converse. All right, ladies. Have a
right.
good day. Safe. Talk soon.
Adios.
Bye.
Bye.